In Erie County, a passionate plea is made for a stray cat who was shot and killed by an animal enforcement officer in Millcreek Township last month.
Dozens of animal rights supporters showed up at this morning's supervisors meeting in Millcreek, calling for the officer to be terminated. Our Kara Coleman was there.
Not euthanasia at a dumpster with a gunshot wound.
Some dressed in Justice for Berkeley t-shirts. Supporters packed into Tuesday's Millcreek supervisors meeting with a passionate plea.
Please, please do what is right for the animals in this community.
The cries for justice come after Berkeley, described as a neighborhood cat, was shot and killed by the township's animal enforcement officer last month. A neighbor had called police after the cat wandered into her home.
He was the neatest cat I ever saw. He would just crawl up in your lap.
Candy Weigel was one of the neighbors taking care of Berkeley and says she was devastated when she was told what happened.
And he said he was put in a bag and thrown in a dumpster. That's a family member. You don't do that to a family member.
The animal control officer initially reported the cat to be aggressive and, quote, a host of parasites, something Millcreek supervisor Kim Clear says has now come into question.
What was initially reported by our animal enforcement officer last week was called into question late Friday afternoon after a statement had already gone out explaining the situation. New information was then gathered over the weekend. The Board of Supervisors on early Monday morning has launched an official internal investigation.
This makes me question how many times this happened before.
Most of those in attendance are calling for the officer's termination. In the meantime, local rescue groups say they want whoever is in that position to be better trained.
But there are still ways to handle animals, especially frightened animals. There are proper techniques, proper tools, and I don't know how much training, if any, that they have. So you're putting them into a position with life or death situations where they don't have the proper training, and I think that's a big problem.
Kara Coleman, Erie News Now.
Meanwhile, Millcreek supervisors were unable to confirm the animal control officer's current employment status, but they say the cat's death is under investigation.